Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Monday, second week in isolation. Fantastic effort, you've made it through. Today we're going to do recovery, and recovery is just about stretching to recover from an injury or from the sport that you're doing or an injury. So you don't have to be a yogi, you don't have to be great at stretching. We can just start, and we need a little ball, a band and a towel if you have one. I've got a mat, but I'll start standing up. So lots of things to do. Come along. You don't even have to put your runners on, or you don't have to take your dressing gown off. You can leave your slippers on. We can do all this with your pajamas still on. So welcome to recovery. Yay! Here we go. Oh, first of all, if you haven't checked with your doctor or physio, check with your doctor or physio if these exercises are right for you to do. Here we go, starting standing up. So I'm going to take my elbow on the wall, make sure you've got a wall close by. So elbow on the wall. Push that elbow up against the wall so you can see it here. So I'm going to lengthen out into my lats. So if you've been laying in bed all night, we're going to start stretching out into these lats a little bit. Good morning, Norman. Good morning, Joe. So we're leaning against this wall. How we started our recovery classes at Bodyfit is we had a lot of elite athletes coming that needed some recovery work done. So we started some classes, and then we saw that our members would like to do it too. So we started recovery classes. So now people with injuries or just wanting to stretch and lengthen can come along as well. You don't have to be that elite athlete. So dropping that lat down. So I want to drop this hip down as well. So I'm dropping that in as well. Then this back leg, I want to take behind. So now dropping it down, hip down, leg behind. It's like leaning at the bar. How are you doing? So now I've got that position and you're feeling like, oh my gosh, where am I going from here? This back leg, we're going to push my hip forward a little bit more. So rotate your hips forward a little bit more. Dropping down, rotate your hips forward a little bit more. Are you looking like a glamorous hanging against the wall? That's it. You keep lengthening there. I'm going to check that we've got everybody here. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Kath. Good morning. Glad you could join us. Here we go. So remember, stay warm. If you've got your dressing gown on, your jumper on, your runners on, keep them on nice and warm. So I've cranked up the heater in this little space now, so it's feeling okay. Draw in at your transverse. Draw in at your transverse, push that hip down, rotate that hip forward. So your lat's connected all the way under here and around. So we're really trying to lengthen it out. Good. And then come all the way back up. Give that arm a little roll, take it all the way up to the ceiling and then down and then turn around. Let's do the other side. Morning. Hi, Suri, how are you? I'm going to turn around. And then drop your hip down. Same thing. So remember, I'm letting that lat drop towards the wall, like you're hanging against the bar. Take this leg, take it behind, then drop it down a little bit more. Now remember this hip, I want to move it away. So move that hip away. You're trying to get a big stretch down that lat. Good work. All the way down. So if you're not feeling it, wriggle around so you are. I'll do it on this side so you can see me again. So rib cage drops down, arm comes up and over, all the way up and over, rib cage to the wall. Let that hip relax. The outside leg, swing it around, drop down, keep that hip pushing down as much as you can. Now this hip, we don't want it to roll backwards, we want it to roll forward. So I'm trying to get this big stretch the whole way. Good. And of course, you can practice your Saturday night moves while you're here. How are you doing? Coming all the way up. Excellent work. Give those arms a little roll. See if you can lengthen them up a little bit taller now. Do they feel freer? Shoulder roll? Yeah, they do. Okay, take one leg in front of the other. I'm going to pick my hip. So So your rib cage is here, my hip's here. I'm going to pick my hip towards my rib cage. This leg just holding me stable. Pull up at your quad. Then drop your hip down again. So here we go again. Pick your hip up and then drop your hip down again. Beautiful. So that's all you need to do. I'm not moving this leg at all. I'm just dropping this hip down and then picking it up. So you want to feel QL just here. You want to feel it squeeze up and then lengthen down again. Squeeze up and then lengthen down again. Hey, Joey, how you doing? I know. Here we go. Take it up and then down. So sometimes it's QL when you've got a bad back and you're unsure, why is my back pulling at the moment? Sometimes it's here being tight and pulling. So you want to really drop it down like bored waiting for a bus, and then all of a sudden see someone that you know. Woohoo! Pick up that hip and then drop it down again. We're looking to do about 8 on each side. So if you can do 8 on each side, that's fantastic. If you don't need the wall to hold on to, even better, that'll improve your balance. Keep going. Have we almost done 8, Siri? Nearly there. One more. Remember, you can get your kids to do these. Easy, easy. And they'll make them feel a little bit better. And plus it's balance as well. We're going to drop this hip down, pick this hip up. So remember, I want to really feel like I'm squeezing in here. Hip drops down, squeeze that hip up. Like you're trying to get your butt up and over something. Squeeze that hip up. I just wake up looking like this. Where's hair and makeup now? Take it all the way up. Cheryl, are you doing this? Down and up, no breaks. Don't take that break yet. Because you've been laying in bed for 8 hours, your body's been laying in that one position. So sometimes you wake up and you feel like, oh, I've got to stretch. And that's why. So we're just stretching out all these little movements, all these little muscles now with these movements. Good. Remember, squeeze, hip goes up, drop your hip down, breathe, relax your shoulders, weights even through your feet like a tripod. Looking good. Hey, Nick. Good. Joe, are you with me? One more time. Perfect. Excellent work. I'm going to go to the wall again. So you've got a wall or a chair or something that's not going to move. I'm going to pop my heel on the wall. No, my toe on the wall, my heel on the floor. Then bring yourself a little bit closer. Push that ball of the foot towards the floor. Good. Bend your knee. It goes over your second toe. Good. And then lean in a little bit more, nice and tall. Pretend I'm pulling you from the crown of your head, because we always want that beautiful, beautiful posture. Good. All the way from the crown of your head, you're nice and tall. So all these exercises we're doing, we're going to try them on the floor as well. Good. And then change over. Nice little calf stretch. Remember, if you're outside or if you've got a block now, you can be standing on the block and drop your heel down, or a calf raise outside on the sidewalk. Shoulder, hip, ankle all in line and drawing from the crown of your head. Nice and tall. Bend that knee over your second toe. That'll move it down to your Achilles a little bit more. Excellent. One more. Lean into it. So we're lengthening through that as well. Perfect. I'm going to do one more for my neck, because I know I've got some people at my gym that have bad necks, so really sore necks from injuries. So I'm going to grab the base of my skull, lift it up nice and tall, like I'm trying to lift your head off your shoulders. So lift your head up off your shoulders, and as we do, I'm going to bring my head forward and then down. So I'm pulling my head forward and then down. So lift up, big breath in. As you pull forward and down, sigh out. With the breath, stop. Don't go any further. And then do the same thing. Lift your head forward and then down. And then stop again. Don't go any further. We've got one more. Lift it up and then forward and down. And then slowly lift your head all the way back up again. Beautiful. Give your hands a little shake, fingers a little wriggle. Here we go again. Base of your skull. So at the base, those little bony bits, lift it up like I'm lifting you out of your shoulders. Nice and tall. So it's a little bit of traction for the top of your spine. Lift up and then go down. Breathe out as you pull it down. Here we go again. Lift up and then drag it down. Beautiful. Let's do one more now. Lift it up and then drag it all the way down. See if you can go a little bit further this time. And then lift your head all the way up. Good. Take it down. Give your shoulders a little bit of a roll. Perfect. How does that feel? Neck side to side. Lengthened a little bit more. Take your hand. Can you see me? I've got my hand on the wall. My hand's going to face that direction. Hand on the wall. I'm going to turn my chest away now. So working into our chest now. If you wanted, you could look over the other direction. Good. So all the instructors are biting at the bit to get back to teach. So hopefully this Saturday or Friday, restrictions will lift. So I want to feel that stretch. Once it releases a little bit more, turn again just a little bit more. Keep breathing, relax your shoulders down, and then turn again. Good. One more now. Look over your shoulder, turn just a little bit more. Stick your chest up. Wet t-shirt competition, Cheryl. Good. And then all the way back. Good work, Joe. Let's go to the other side. Here we go. Hand on the wall. Can you see my hand? I should move somewhere so you can. Hand on the wall. Turn your body away from you. And then look over your shoulder. Palm is away from you. Push on the wall. If it's too easy, push on the wall. So remember where I'm trying to stretch. I'm getting a big stretch through my chest. Breathe as you turn away. Good. And again, keep breathing. Hi, Nat. How are you? Big breath in and then sighing out. Good. One more time. Big breath in and then sighing out. Excellent. So I'm going to give you a little one now for all the kids that are on the computer all day, every day, and it's hard to get them off because they're like this. We're going to just draw our shoulders back and then release. So all I need to do is squeeze, like you've got a diamond between your shoulder blades. So squeeze it in and then release. And because we're really good at it, woo, maybe not this morning, you're going to take one foot off the floor. So squeeze it in, pretend you've got a pulley. Squeeze it in. The kids don't need to do this. All they need to do is squeeze their back and release. Squeeze their back and then release. Those shoulder blades come together like a butterfly's wings and then release. Good. And we're doing it on one foot just to make our abs stabilize and work while we're doing it. Good. So get the kids to do this. If they're on the computer for 20 minutes, get them to do 4 or 8 of these. So those muscles start to work in their back again so they don't end up like this the whole time. Good. One more. Let's try the other leg and see if you can do it again. So one leg off the floor, squeeze it in and then release. Squeeze it in and then release. Because with that leg off the floor, your little transverse has to lock on. Good. Pretend I'm pulling from the crown of your head again. Excellent job. We've got one more standing one. Good work. Last time now. Ah, excellent. I'm going to take my hands up like a lat pull down. Drag my elbows down and then all the way up. Down and then all the way up. You're going to do it on the wall. So on the wall, same. Drag them down and see if you can keep your shoulder blades on the wall and your head on the wall. Tuck your chin. So all these exercises we've been doing standing up, we can do lying down. Tuck that chin. Julia, are you with me? Victoria, are you with me? Keep going. Remember the muscles that you're trying to work. So at no time was I trying to switch on at my traps around my neck. So really engaging your lats, your middle back, and those shoulders back and down. One more now. Perfect. Good work. We're going to go to the floor now. You might need a band or a ball if you're not very flexible, or if you have a lower back injury. Get those things now and bring them with you. Hopefully you can see me. I'm just going to lay straight down on my spine. Straight down on your spine. I might just move this camera a little bit. Hi Pippa, hi Poppy, hi Ashley and Emily. Okay. Sorry, face right in the camera. Here we go. I'm on the floor. I've got that neutral spine now. So just relax. So tuck your chin. Shoulders down, feet flop out. You've got the beautiful neutral spine, gap between your lower back and the floor, back of your rib cage on the floor, chin tucked. Then grab a leg, pull it in towards you. So really squeeze it in. So if that's too much, bend that leg. If you can't grab your leg and leave your head on the floor, grab your towel, roll it up any which way that's going to suit you, and use it to pull it in. So remember, we're just looking after your spine, whatever you need. So to keep those shoulders, tuck your chin, everything on the floor. This leg, long if you want to, but you don't have to. Drag it in a little bit more. Keep breathing. You want to feel that really pinching sensation in your hip. Tuck that chin a little bit more. Good. From here, I'm just going to take it out to the side, just a little bit. I don't want my other hip to follow me. So out to the side, just a little bit. Pretend I've got your other leg and I'm dragging it away from you. As we take our leg out to the side, just check that this shoulder doesn't come with you. You want to drop that shoulder back and down the whole time. Squeeze it in. Pretend I've got your leg on the other leg and I'm pulling it away from you. Breathe. Good. And then release this leg. Or bring it back to the center. And then release it down. Perfect. Let's try the other side. Drag it up. Gracefully, of course. Squeeze it in. Tailbone heavy on the floor. See if you can get those shoulder blades really even on the floor. Tuck your chin. Squeeze it in a little bit more. Good. Every time you breathe out, I want you to drag it in a little bit more. Big breath in, sigh out, drag it in a little bit more. Pretend I've got your other leg and I'm pulling it away from you. Big breath in, sigh out, drag it in, shoulders back and down, back of your rib cage heavy on the floor, tailbone still on the floor. Take it out to the side now. There we go, out to the side. So this hip stays down, this shoulder stays down. Don't let it follow you. So stay down. It wants to follow you because it's easier. So we're going to keep it opening up through those hips. Shoulders back and down. Good work. Tuck your chin. And I've still got this leg and I'm pulling it away from you. Drag it in one more time. Good. And then change over. Oh, give both legs. Bring them all the way up. Give yourself a really big bear hug. I'm going to squeeze it in. If your spine's on the floor, wrap your arms around each other. Hold onto your elbows and really squeeze it in. But if it's too far away from you, use your towel. Drag it in. So remember, I shouldn't be feeling like, oh, now it's really in my back. I want to use this towel or band or whatever you've got, drag it in. If you've got a tight spine like mine, as soon as I grab it, my spine's going to come off the floor. I'm really trying to lengthen that spine back and down towards the floor and keep squeezing in those legs. Tuck your chin. Breathe. Oh, it's a lot to do all at once, isn't it? Keep looking down your belly if you can. One more breath. Good work. Release it now. Oh, lay back down. Have a little rest. We'll just do it one more time. Grab your leg, pull it in. You should feel it be able to go up a little bit closer to your chest. You're thinking, oh my gosh, my chin can almost touch my knee. That's what you were thinking, weren't you? Drag it in one more time. Shoulder blade down to the floor. Tuck your chin. I've asked all my instructors to send some jokes because I only know 2. Good, and then release it. Try the other leg. Drag it in, straight up towards your chest. Tailbone on the floor. I'm pulling the other leg. Here's the 2 I know. Horse walks into the bar. Bartender says, why the long face? Pull it in just a little bit further. Good. So now you've noticed that your knee is coming closer than what it was before. Good, change over. We're going to grab those legs again, but this time straight out to the side. Remember, I don't want to roll. I want to bring it in and then gently out to the side. And if you need to have that bent knee, bend it up. My jokes are the only ones about bar. Big breath in. And then sighing out. Excuse me. Big breath in and then sighing out. Good. Perfect. And then release that leg. Take it all the way down. Try the other side. Take it out. Drag it in. So remember, if you send me some photos of you training, it doesn't have to be during my class, training, I'll send give you send out a bag, Bodyfit backpack, and then I can post your photo on our social media. Or you can drop into any of our Bodyfits and pick up a bag. Good. And then release this leg. Here we go for that big bear hug again. Bring both legs up. Hug them in. Squeeze them in. Remember, tailbone on the floor, head on the floor, tuck your chin. If you need a little towel, use your towel. Squeeze it in. If you don't, then hold on. And then if your spine comes off the floor, we're just breathing out. Every breath, trying to lengthen that vertebrae back down towards the floor again. Big breath in, sigh out. Lengthen it back down towards the floor again. Tuck that chin. One more breath. Big breath in. And then sighing out. Let it drop back down again. Beautiful. And then release your legs. Have a little rest. Let those legs flop open, let those hips relax for just a second. Take your hands into a W position now. Bring up your tippy toes. Can you see me? Bring up your tippy toes. I'm going to drop my legs, just a normal spine stretch. You drop it to one side, look to the other. So just that nice normal spine stretch. If that's enough for you, you'll stay here. Look the other direction so your neck gets a big stretch as well. Shoulder blades heavy on the floor. Pick this leg up, take it over the top if you want a little bit more. So over the top if you want a little bit more, still looking the other direction. If that's still easy, then get your hand, take it on top, and then gently push it down. And then gently drop that shoulder back and down as well. Keep breathing into your belly and then sighing out. Good work. Into your belly and then sighing out. Perfect. Bring both legs back together now and then come back to the center. And then over to the other side. Drop your legs down. Look the other direction. Remember, you're just lengthening out through that spine like a big vine twisting around. You're lengthening it out from the top of your head to your little tailbone. Good work. Then take that leg on top. Make it a little bit harder if your spine's feeling okay. Good. And then take that hand, pop it on top just to make it a little bit more. Let me see what's going on. Hi. Good work. So now I've got this leg on top, hand on top, making it a little bit more. You're starting to feel like that spine's lengthening out, shoulder back and down. Have a big breath into your belly and sigh out again. Good. So my class knows this as the pretzel, so that's where we're going next. Coming all the way up. I'm going to do the same thing. Like you're lying in bed, I'm going to the side. Rolling over to the side. Then I'm going to take the top leg, take it in front. And then the top hand, I'm going to grab the bottom leg. Pull this leg back and then relax back. Not that it's that relaxing, but roll back. Let that shoulder open, getting that shoulder mobility happening as well. Getting that hip flexor stretch and that quad stretch. Keep pulling that leg back, pushing that hip forward. Let me see. Have you got it? Good work, Kath. That's it. Cheryl, how's this one for you? Loving it, right? Jan, are you with me? I know Jan just likes the hard workouts, but this is very good for you as well. Now the top hand that's doing nothing, grab the leg that's doing nothing, pull it up, roll over, and then look the other way. So now they're like a little pretzel. You're pulling this leg up, you're pushing against that leg, you're dragging your hand up, you're trying to roll your shoulder back and down and get your rib cage back and down. Of course, if it's too easy, no need to ask, Kat. Just pull it up a little bit more. Norman, push it a little bit more. That's good. Looking great from here. Big breath in, sigh out. One more. And then we're going to let go of the top leg, let go of the bottom leg. Oh, roll yourself back to the center and then try the other side. It was like a little bit of torture, wasn't it? No, you're fine. Here we go again. So, like you're in bed, lying on your side, take the top leg up and over. Lay down, take the top arm, grab the bottom leg, pull it back, roll back. We've been practicing this for a long time in my class now. So when we first started, it was really hard work. So if you're finding it a little bit difficult, it's because it's really challenging. So take your time with it and eventually you get better and better. Practice makes perfect, right? So pull this leg back a little bit more. Push your hip forward a little bit more. Roll that shoulder back. So get that move flowing first. Then grab that leg. Pull it up towards you. Now roll back and look the other direction. Remember to breathe. Do that big breath into your belly and then sigh out. Big breath into your belly and then sigh out again. Keep pushing your hips forward. Keep pushing your foot against that hand and that rib cage rolling back. One more breath. Good. Excellent. Then release the top leg. Release the bottom leg. Ooh, push yourself all the way up. I'm just going to do a little mermaid stretch now. So hand on your knee, reach all the way over. As you reach all the way over, I'm twisting through my rib cage. So I could just go straight over, but I want to turn my rib cage and then reach. So big stretch all the way down. Keep twisting that rib cage towards the ceiling. Breathe, and every breath I'm going to twist a little bit more. So big breath in, sigh out, twist a little bit more, reach a little bit more. Good, twist a little bit more, reach a little bit more. One more time now. Twist just a little bit more, reach up and over, just a little bit more. Big stretch all through your side and through your QL. Good, and then take that hand all the way down. Spin your legs over to the other side. Hand on the outside of the bottom knee, lift up, breathe out, go over. Lift up nice and tall, breathe out, go over. Good. Now twist that chest. So you're at your max point here. You couldn't go over any further. Now I'm going to twist and breathe. Hi Dee, big breath in, sigh out, twist and then reach. Again through your chest, remember, twist a little bit more to the ceiling and then reach. Hip stays down. Big breath in, sigh out, twist a little bit more and then reach. Beautiful. Now you should be at the max. You couldn't do it one more time? What, Cheryl? You couldn't do it one more time? Okay, twist one more time through your chest, reach up and then over. Good work. Coming all the way back now. Beautiful. We're going onto your knees now. So one knee in front, one leg in front, just that little hip flexor stretch again. Hey Kat, are you doing this? Shoulder, hip, push forward. So I want these in line to start with, and I don't want my butt sticking out. I want to tilt it underneath. So tilt and squeeze your butt, transverse still switching on. I've got that nice hip flexor stretch. Shoulders even, looking good. And then you can drop it down a little bit more. You want to feel it release. So once it starts to release, so feel it's tight and you're pushing against something, but it shouldn't be painful like, oh, I can't do it. So just hold it there, breathe, then release, drop it back a little bit more. Let that hip drop down a little bit more. So remember, you're stretching muscle and fascia. So it's going through a lot at the moment to get it stretching. So don't be too hard on yourself. Just be gentle and we'll get there. One more breath. Sometimes it's hard to take baby steps before you start sprinting. Then come all the way up. I'm going to drop this heel to the floor and then drop down. This one you can stick that butt out. Stick your butt out, come over. So hamstring, we're getting that little stretch here now. If you're really flexible, you're just going to sit straight down, keep that toe up. Not so flexible, you're coming with me. We're going to keep that toe up and then gently move into it. So breathe out, drop back a little bit. Big breath in, come up, and then drop back again, just a little bit more. Try and anchor that heel into the floor the whole time. Again, if you're flexible, you're sitting back on your bottom, you're pulling your toe back, you're showing off because you can do it. Really show off, you might as well. Where else do we get to, huh? Come all the way up. One more time for the people that aren't that flexible. Let's go back. Breathing out. So I'm feeling this stretch. I want to try and feel it in the belly of my hamstring. And all of a sudden you start to think, oh, I can sit back. That's fantastic. You might be able to grab your toe, pull it back. For those ballerinas, take your chest down to the floor. Don't hyperextend though. Good work. Is that you, Cheryl? You got your chest on your knee? Just too good. Coming all the way up. Perfect. I'm going to just change over, nice and easy. Here we go, changing over. Oh, opening doors. Never know what we'll find. Here we go, push your hip underneath. Push your hip underneath you. I'm going to spin around, going to spin around so you can see me. Push your hip underneath. Remember, this knee doesn't want to come forward of my toes. I want to keep it back. Tilt your pelvis underneath you, shoulders nice and even, relax down and squeezing in the middle. Butt's not sticking out on this one, tuck it underneath. Transverse pelvic floor pulling up. You wouldn't think there were so many things to do just with one little hip flexor stretch, right? Squeeze your butt. Lift up like I'm pulling you from the crown of your head, tilt your pelvis a little bit more. Remember, if you want to come into it a little bit more, drop down. Each breath, dropping down just a little bit more. Good work. And again, dropping down. Big hip flexor stretch now. Perfect. One more time. Excellent work. And then come all the way up. Anchor that heel to the floor, drop back. Flexible people, drop straight back. If you need a little bit of support, you could put a little ball underneath your bottom if you wanted to sit back, if you're almost there. Toe back towards you, chest on your thigh, whatever you can do. I'm going to sit down a little bit more. Remember, if our hamstring is not feeling flexible this morning, we're going to do it in 3 little stages. So breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, drop back down just a little bit more. And then hold it here. Pull your toe back towards your nose. If you can grab it, great, but just otherwise mentally pull it back towards your nose. Good, and then coming all the way up. And then do it again, drop back. Here we go again, coming all the way up, just a little bit. You could bend that knee, doesn't matter. And then come back. So see if you can go back a little bit further than you did before. Try and keep that heel anchored. Sitting down, walk yourself forward. Remember, I'm just looking for that hamstring stretch. If it's too much, stay up. That's all we're trying to do is get that hamstring stretch going. Drop your shoulders back and down. One more breath. Good work. I'm going to bring this knee into the other knee now. So any way you can, bring it in. Turn your little hips down. From here, we're just going into a little sympathetic nervous stretch. So drop your hip back just a little bit and then come forward. And then drop your hip back just a little bit and then come forward again. So it's a tiny movement. My shoulders are back and down. Middle of my back is still squeezing. Your chin is tucked. If I go back too far, let me walk forward. If I go back too far, my hips will start to tilt underneath me. I don't want that. I just want to drop where they don't. So I'm just that tiny little movement, shifting weight forward and back. Beautiful. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Shoulders are back and down. Good. Let's do one more. Good. And then from there, we're going to just tuck your leg underneath you like a pigeon if you're doing yoga, or just like a glute stretch. We'll just call it a glute stretch. So I'm going to tuck that leg underneath. Let me show you from the front. Tuck that leg underneath. Sit down. If that's too much, you could just sit like this. Yeah? If it's all too much, I'll show you another version. So I want to get this glute stretching. If you want to reach forward at the moment, you can. Perfect. Or you can sit down if your hips allowing you to, and your glutes. Sit down, stretch. Remember, your body wants to lean the same way as your hip. I want it to lean forward and more in. Now, if that's all too much for you, you're staying there. I'm just going to do a little glute stretch. Take one leg on top, hips are even. If that's enough, stay there. A little bit more, that's enough, stay there. Otherwise, grab through, keep pulling in. Whatever suits you. So remember, we're just working for your glute now. So I'm going to take that leg behind. I've dropped down. I'm trying to get that hip down. It's a big muscle, so we can stay here a little bit. Then reach forward and then drop your chest down. See if you can still feel it in your glute. Chest down, head down. Oh, it's like on the plane. Okay. Keep your head down, heads down, heads down. Breathe, and then you're thinking, oh, it feels pretty good now. It's not hurting so much. It was a 10 in pain, now it's an 8. Bring your chest up like I've got a hook in your chest and I'm dragging you forward. Kids are usually great at this, so see how good they are. Get them down doing it as well. Now I'm going to drop my bottom to the floor. I'm going to start to bring this leg up into 90 degrees. Doesn't matter if it gets to 90, that's where I'm hoping to get it, but I'm heading it that way. So just tiny little increments, so little move, sit up tall, little move, sit up tall, and again, little move, sit up tall, nice and tall, there you go. If you're feeling like, this is unbelievable, I can't do it, then bring it back a little bit. It shouldn't feel like that. It should feel that you're getting a stretch and you're pushing it a little bit, but it's just a stretch. Then if you want a little bit more, so my body's leaning to the side, my glute's tight, so I'm leaning to the side to protect it. I'm going to lift it up a little bit and then see if I can stay even. So 90 degrees, or as far as you can get it forward. You've come off your bottom and then sit down. So your hips are trying to be even now. Have you got it? Hips are nice and even. Looks good. Relax your shoulders. Keep breathing. And if you're feeling fantastic, you can drop it down a little bit further. Yes? Look at you go. That's fantastic. Hips are even. Nearly there. Keep breathing. Let this little back leg keep dropping down. There's that extra little hip flexor stretch as well. Good. Then bring yourself up if you're on the floor. Bring this little leg back in. Bring the other leg to meet it. Perfect, spin over. We're going to take the other leg behind now, so let me show you if you don't know how to get into it. I'm going to bring that leg in, drop down, then sit down into a little glute stretch or pigeon if you're yogi. Drop down. You might notice one side's tighter than the other, or one side's really fantastic. You can get back and down, and the other side, a little bit stiffer. That's okay, normal. We're just going to work through it. See this big space here? I'm trying to get that hip down as much as I can. So let that hip drop down. Hips are nice and even. If your bottom's off the floor and it's a bit much, stick that towel that we had before underneath your bottom. Let it feel supported. We've supported you, we've got you, don't worry. Here we go, drop down, reach long. You can really reach those arms really long and tuck your chin. And then from here, bring yourself up. So this is the fun part, all working up to this. Get that little foot, start to move it up. Oh, feels okay, then give it another little move, up. Oh, starts to feel a little bit more. You might want to hold it here. Trying to get those shoulders nice and even again. And this hip dropping down. How's that feeling, Norm? Here we go, take that leg up. Chris, how's that? Beautiful, now your leg's almost at 90. Now we're going to turn that hip and drop it down. So hips are nice and even. I've got my body weight even now. Try and keep that little leg coming up. But remember, work at whatever level you're at. So if that's too much, go back. If that's too much, go back to that first move into pigeon. Too much, back on the floor. Leg up in the normal little glute stretch. We're just trying to mix it up a little bit so you feel a little bit more stretched than you normally would than the 5 minutes after a normal class of stretching, you know. 5 minutes, oh, bang, bang, it's done. But this one's going to get right in. So you walk away feeling longer, more supple. That's what we want. Drop down if you can. Hip down, remember, hip down. Good work. And then coming all the way back up. Perfect work. Bring that little leg in. Knee bend. Tuck it underneath you. We're going to the side of your mat long ways. I'm going to show you first of all. I'm going to turn my leg out. I look like a Portuguese chicken. So turn your feet out. Not very glamorous, but it'll be fun. I'm going to drop my bottom back. Or I might start with feet straight. Drop your bottom back. And then up, feet straight to start with. Drop your bottom back. I want to stretch in between that, in those inner thighs. Drop your bottom back. Breathe out. So that's all you're doing is that tiny, tiny little movement. Hi, Tony. Okay, from here. Hi, Tom. Here we go. Dropping it back. So most people are tight between their spine, their inner thighs, their hips, so that's all we're doing here. Nice and easy, dropping it back and down. Then when you get to as far as you can go, stay there. I've done about, let's say, 12 of these, nice and gently, and you're in control. You can push yourself back a little bit more, up to you. So you've done about 12, you're pushing yourself back a little bit more, relaxing your shoulders back and down. Good, now drop your bottom all the way back. From here, I'm really pushing my butt back in between my heels. Then drop your chest down. So your chest is dropping down. Good. I really want to pretend I've got my hand in the middle of your chest and I'm pushing it down. So hand in the middle of your chest and I'm pushing your chest down. And of course, once it becomes too easy, just drop down a little bit further, a little bit more each time. That's it. Good. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Excellent work. And then from here, come all the way back up. Bring yourself back up. We'll just do it one more time. This time, If you can take your legs wider like a Portuguese chicken, feet turned out, you can do that. Drop your bottom back. So push your bottom back first of all, legs turned out, and then drop down. Now, if it's too hard to drop down, get your ball, get a band, get a towel, and use that to balance on, or not even balance on, to support yourself. So keep breathing the whole way down. Every time, every breath, drop back just a little bit more. Good. One more time. And then we'll bring ourselves all the way back up. Bring your knees together. Perfect work. From here, I'm going to just drop myself down into a child's pose. If you do yoga, or just forward on the floor. So your forehead goes on the floor, bottom back. Good. Forehead on the floor, bottom back. Beautiful. So I'm going to try and get the little tip of my nose on the floor as well, and the middle of my forehead on the floor. See if you can push all the weight there. If your spine's tight, your bottom's going to be up in the air. And that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Keep your bottom up in the air. We want that lengthening of your spine. So bottom up in the air. If you're feeling like you can start to relax your bottom back and down now, relax your bottom back and down. See if you can keep your hands in the same spot. So hands in the same spot, bottom back and down. And if your spine is tight, open up through your feet, drop your bottom back. One more breath, and then from here, bring your hands up, bring your knees up, and then just come all the way up to sitting. We're going to do it one more time, a little bit yoga-ish. Reach your hands up, lift up tall, come all the way over. You want your fingertips to touch the floor, forehead on the floor, bottom down. Keep reaching long. Good. Stretching through that spine. So when I stand up, I want to feel like I'm taller. Good. Now from there, you just have to listen to me from there. Your hands are forward. You're going to take them, wrap them behind you, hold on to your heels, pull yourself down, tuck your chin lots and pull yourself down. So my hands are out to the front, wrapped them around, grabbed my heels, tucked your chin, pulled yourself down. So now it's like you're giving yourself a little bit of gentle traction. You're pulling your bottom down while your chin is tucked. It's like I've been drinking. Some of my words are coming out. Good. And then from there, I'm going to hold my feet, keep listening, hold my feet and come up with a straight spine, shoulders back and down, all the way up. Beautiful. Little shoulder roll, tuck your toes underneath each other. I'll get you to standing. So I'm coming up, bend one leg, straighten the other. Bend one leg, straighten the other. So let me show you. If you can't reach the floor, that's okay. Bend one leg, straighten the other. It's like you're just doing a slow little walk. And then from here, bend both knees, relax your head, relax your shoulders. I'm going to take my hands, grab behind my ankles and pull myself down. Take your shoulders away from your ears. Good. Then from there, release your hands, squeeze through your inner thighs and roll up one vertebrae at a time. All the way up, shoulders back and down. Little shoulder roll, little twist through your spine. Can you believe it? You've done 45 minutes of stretching. Yay! Good work. Thanks for joining me. See you tomorrow for ABT. I hope you feel longer and stretched and better now so you can run around all day in the beautiful sunshine. See you tomorrow, 9:30. We'll still be here. I'll still be here. ABT. Mwah, mwah. See you soon. Do something nice for you and something nice for somebody else. Love you. Bye.